Every flight you take is always a lot of fun, but sometimes, if we're being honest, we need some new missions to incorporate to kind of keep the flight new and exciting and interesting. And one of the first things I really love to do in my flying is to practice emergency procedures, particularly in landing. So a really good maneuver to practice, and you can do this anywhere, which makes your flight really fun, is to practice engine outs. So you think about the commercial check ride, and one of the things you have to demonstrate is going idle on your engine and then not landing before a certain marker, but you can't land up to 100 feet after it. So it's a really tight window. You got to get your glide absolutely perfect to hit the spot. I like to practice that frequently. I think that's a really good exercise. But you could also practice things like no flap landings. What happens if your flaps malfunction? Or you could do short approaches. This is a really good exercise because all the time at Addison, there will be a jet on a 7-mile final or something, and they'll say, hey, 6 Delta Foxtrot, make a short approach. You got a Gulfstream on a 7-mile final or something like that. Really good to practice so you can remain sharp. Next, you could try to check off every airport in your region. So land at every airport. And your region could be your city, your county, your metropolitan area, your state. Right now, I am trying to land at every public airport in Texas. And that's gonna take a long time. I've pretty much finished Northeast Texas, but once I start getting to West Texas, South Texas, it's a long ways just to fly there, just to land at a few places. But it's fun, it gives me a cool mission. So if I'm just gonna go fly on Wednesday mornings like I have been lately, it gives me a place to go. All I gotta do is see, wait, where haven't I landed yet? And that'll give me a place to go. Another really fun mission is to skywrite using your flight path. Now, I don't have a smoke kit on my plane, so I can't actually do skywriting, but I can record the flight path in apps like ForeFlight and then look and see what I drew. I remember back when I first got 100 subscribers on this channel, I was so excited. It was a huge milestone for me. It took me a little while, and I went out and drew what I tried to make as a mathematically perfect 100 in the sky. It was a really fun video, put it together, and I got pretty close. It was fun, but you can plan out all sorts of things. So maybe, pick out something you want to write and go get her done. Ugh, I think I just said get her done on YouTube. Get her done. A longer term mission that you could get plugged into is donating your time and your aircraft to organizations like Angel Flight, where you will volunteer to help transport people in need. There's all different types of organizations. Angel Flight is one of the big ones, but there are others as well to transport everything from pets to supplies to natural disasters, and that will give you a definite mission to go work with. Another mission that I'm actually working on planning right now is combining a poker run with a $100 hamburger. So the idea is you get a few of your flying buddies together, and for the poker run, basically you'll fly to different airports. Everybody puts 20 bucks in a hat or something. And at each of the airports, everyone will draw a card out of a deck of cards. And then by the end, you basically have your hand together of what your poker hand is. And you can add in little flares to that where, you can buy more cards for $5 a card or something. But basically at the very end, whoever has the best poker hand wins the pot of money, and you could conclude that event at some sort of restaurant and do a $100 hamburger. So it kind of gives you a purpose to go fly around with your buddies, hit 5 or 6 different airports, have fun in the process, and then have a meal at the end. I wouldn't encourage adding a speed element to this. I think some poker runs, like when you do it in boats and things, have kind of a kicker for how fast you can actually complete that circuit. Don't really advise that in aviation just because it might get a little unsafe, but I think this is something I'm really looking forward to. I think it should be a really fun day in the air. Another fun mission is to try to get ATC clearance to go places you wouldn't normally go. So for example, here in Dallas, it's really fun to try to get clearance to do low passes around downtown, particularly at night. It is just gorgeous. It's really good sightseeing. But since there's so much traffic coming in and out of Love Field and DFW International, you really have to be talking to ATC. It's in the Class Bravo airspace, and so you got to talk to them to get approval. But it's really fun. But even if you don't live near a big metropolitan area, are there places that in Class B, or maybe your house is underneath it, or maybe there's some sort of national monument that you want to go see from the air, but you need to talk to air traffic control to do it. Sometimes we just don't really think outside the box, or don't really want to say, gosh, well, they could tell me no, so I just don't really want to ask. Where could you go? Where could you try to ask for permission? You might end up in some really cool places. Another mission you gotta try sometime is turning off the GPS and navigating through pilotage and dead reckoning. It's so much fun. It can be a really fun challenge. And one of my favorite videos on this channel is where I did just that, and I documented exactly how I planned it and how the flight went. And it's on the screen right now. I can't wait for you to watch it. I'll see you there.